Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's recap of The Celebrity Apprentice.
Maddie, we are contractually obligated to give a shout out to Lee Evans fan 28.
Okay, there you go. So last time, Claudia Jordan was fired.
Oh well, go back to opening your cases. So Brian McKnight gives his check to Youthville, USA for $20,000. Yeah, one of these.
Well, I was doing the faces like...
Yeah. Alright, so Khloe's not going to be there for the day. Who cares? And going to run a hotel is the task this week.
Okay,
at the Loews
for this
Regency.
week,
Yes.
they're running a hotel. So this includes being the maid, concierge,
Right. Everything else.
etc.
Cleaning toilets.
And they're in control of 5 rooms each.
The PMs are Tionne and Dennis Rodman.
What?
Yes.
And the winning project manager for this challenge gets $20,000 for their charity of
Pitiful.
choice.
It should be like 50, Donald.
That's a lot.
It should be 50. Joan is the concierge.
For the women's team.
She's Joan!
Come on!
She knows New York.
Yes.
Alright, that was a good idea.
And Dennis has big plans for the men's team.
What are they, though? He's the
We're
worst.
gonna put 2 cars in the front. And
He's the worst communicator in the world. He's like, Carnegie Deli, yeah, get some cookies.
So, all
They had a
of
crash course in training.
Yeah, they had training. It was like 30 minutes only. That's like not a lot of time.
It's supposed to be 2 weeks for like each different job. You know, making beds had to be done a certain way. Cleaning the toilets even had to be done a certain way.
Yep. Checking.
Yeah, concierge. There's certain rules and stuff that you gotta follow.
So over at Kotu, Dennis actually makes some plans. He calls
Kind
up
of.
Carnegie Deli. He's like, yo, we'll get some cheeses, some cookies.
It was really weird. And then he goes down to like the kitchen or whatever and he starts drinking.
And then it all goes downhill from
Pretty
there.
much, pretty much. So over at Athena, Joan is a self-professed hotel whore.
She likes free stuff. There's
Yes.
nothing wrong with that. So does Granny.
I know. So
And she will take it.
yeah. Well, Ferraris don't make good customer service. They're just sitting in front of the hotel. They don't mean a damn thing, says Brian McKnight.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's when Dennis Rodman starts getting his nose bent out of shape. What do you know? Brian McKnight know everything? What's going on with that? What do you think you're doing? I'm the project manager. All right, so...
Over at Athena.
Yeah, Melissa's pissed.
She doesn't like having to clean up after other people.
She don't do toilets. And you know what? It's not fair that Jesse had to go and depube the toilet. I think Brandy Roderick had the same problem, too. You don't pick it up with your hands, stupid.
I know.
Get a tissue.
What the F is wrong with her? So
Natalie scored some awesome gift baskets
I saw
from her
Oreos in there.
sponsors. I know. Those were like chock full of delicious things.
seriously, I want some sponsors.
I want some gift baskets. The hell with sponsors.
I mean, so I can get free stuff.
Yeah, so Brian McKnight got the cookies from Carnegie Deli, and he's trying to put them on plates. It looked really pathetic.
Yeah, it did.
And Dennis Rodman's like throwing them back in the box.
Brian McKnight's like, everything's down the toilet now. You put like 5 freaking cookies on a
I know.
plate.
It looked ridiculous, and they weren't wrapped or anything. It was not good.
So Dennis took them down to the chef to make
And got a drink.
an actual platter. I think it
Yeah.
was pretty much a disguise so he could get some vodka
Some more
cranberries.
liquors. So Clint was late checking in Mohawk Dude from Vancouver.
Yeah, and Mohawk Dude was pissed.
Yeah. But he smiled and perked up when Dennis showed up and said how much he
those
enjoyed
strip clubs.
Yeah, he loved the strip clubs up in Vancouver. Yeah, those ladies.
Those Russians.
Yeah. So people started checking in and they had some pretty ridiculous requests.
Especially the gay guys.
They were absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, but some of the, like, requests from, like, everyone... Okay, seats on the stage for Equus.
Come on, you gotta buy those like 6 months in advance. In the Heights
tickets, Billy Elliot.
Getting into certain restaurants
I think
was
Dennis
not
Rodman
easy.
thought Billy Elliot was, like, a performer.
I think he thought it was like a Clint Black. All you do is do shows for like 10
man.
people. Yeah. Stephen Baldwin checks in.
The ladies'
Our little
team.
Porky Pig from last year.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, Joan, I don't like this view. I'm thinking about leaving.
Oh, but you're a celebrity. No, but this is Joan. Ow, but you're a celebrity, and I thought you want some privacy because that's how celebrities roll. And he's still, I don't like the view.
And then Vinny Pastore checked in for the men's scene.
He was a total a-hole. I'm sorry. I didn't enjoy him whatsoever. No. He's like, I want my CDs. And I
want some Roy Orbison CDs in my room.
I want a box of cannolis, but they gotta be from Ferraras. You know what? They probably could have given you a box of dog crap and you wouldn't have known where it was from.
Yeah.
Please.
The dog that was staying there.
The Cavalier King Charles Spaniel.
Beauvoir. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, so Joan can deliver. She
was getting those tickets left and right and dinner reservations.
The only problem with Joan was price was not an object because she wasn't paying for it.
She's freaking rich anyway. What does she care?
Yes, but she didn't realize...
She doesn't think about those things, so why do other people?
I guess she thinks that way. The men really kind of sucked when it came to, like, getting stuff. They
didn't know what was going on.
I mean, there was a point where one of the guests had asked for some wine, and they didn't get it right away for them.
And then the men brought up champagne, and they're like, we didn't order this.
What do you need? A case of Chardonnay? You know, like a case?
A case, sir.
What's
Chardonnay?
A case? You mean like a big
case? A case, sir.
A case of it, like a big box.
No, a case of Chardonnay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Shut up.
Can you just get a case of Chardonnay up here? It was ridiculous.
That was Herschel and Dennis, by the way. Yeah. Shut up.
Shut your mouth. All right, so Natalie was not the best on her customer service.
She was rolling her eyes.
She was dropping silverware and, like, ketchup bottles all over the place.
Yeah.
It wasn't cool. They were asking for Annie half the time, especially the gay guys' party.
Yeah.
They didn't like her.
So then Dennis took out these two guys to dinner.
That was crazy. They're like, yeah, I got your car waiting for you downstairs, and then I'll get you right through the door at Tao, and you know.
They enjoyed it though.
They really did because they didn't even have to do anything, and like all this stuff appeared. It was like Alice in Wonderland. So Stephen Baldwin was pissed that Joan Rivers sent him down to the cabaret show. And he had to pay a $400 cover charge plus. I'd be pissed too. I'd be like, yo, comp it.
Yo, Alec.
Yeah.
I need some cash.
So then there was a little weird scene where I think it was Brian McKnight was asking what the hell happened to the cookies from the Carnegie Deli. And Dennis Rodman runs down to the kitchen, gets a drink, then gets the cookies, and is like, cookies out the ass. Cookies out the ass. What's going on with that?
He got all upset, and he went, like, in the hallway. It was like, I'm leaving. His clothes, and then he put on this, like, little puppy shirt.
It was like a yellow Labrador or golden retriever shirt, and, like, that was the funniest thing ever. Well, at least it matched his pants.
It was so crazy.
It was kind of cool, actually.
So then he left.
Yeah, but Dennis returned the next day, and he was like, don't talk to me. Just don't talk to me. Because don't talk to me.
So, Khloe showed up for work the next day. She was not good at room service.
She was no help whatsoever.
She brought breakfast, like, 40 minutes early.
Yeah, she was probably worse than Natalie. They were wishing they had Natalie after Khloe Kardashian showed up. So, the comment cards, the men did better than I thought they would have.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they didn't promise too much, so they didn't disappoint so much.
Yeah.
And Joan Rivers kept making all these mistakes, like she sent a pedicure lady up to the room and did
double the cost.
Nobody wants to pay double the cost when they could have walked down to the spa. So it's time for the boardroom. It's intervention time, Dennis. You've got a drinking problem.
We didn't even find out who won the challenge until like 2 seconds before the show was over.
I know. They spent all the time on the intervention for Dennis.
Which I'm not complaining because, you know.
He still didn't admit that he has a problem, which is step number 1.
But Jesse knows because he had a drinking problem years ago.
Since he was 14, I think Dennis Rodman said. They must have been talking about it because I'm sure Jesse was trying to do his own intervention behind the scenes too. Yeah, well, let's just cut to the chase. The women won by a score of 91 to 86.
Out of a possible 100.
So, Tionne's charity is Sickle Cell Anemia of Georgia, I think. At least that's what I heard. So, Dennis is still not happy. Like, outside of the show, I could kick anybody's ass at doing anything. So, yeah.
Well, inside of the show, you're fired.
Yeah, and then Jesse was like, well, why don't you just kick our asses at being humans then? Jesse, he is totally my favorite.
He's
now
the
that
best
Tom Green has
every week.
I know. I can see what Sandra Bullock sees in him.
Sandra?
Yes, Sandra Bullock. So Dennis is fired. You saw that coming from last week. Yeah, good luck to you. Go to AA. First step is admit that you have a problem, because you do. Next time, Donald says something crazy.
Says or does?
Does something crazy. Because he says something crazy every week. And is there going to be a celebrity mutiny?
I don't know.
We'll have to wait and see. Till then, much love.